This video is sponsored by The Chosen Prime, link in the description down below. You ever just sit back and get lost in your own thoughts? DuckTales, woo! What's going on, everybody? S.L.B coming at you with another video review. This time we're taking a look at Avengers Endgame, Iron Man Mark 85, the Final Battle Edition. And before we get into the figure, let's take a quick look at the packaging. The front of the packaging has your Avengers Endgame logo, along with an artistic rendering of Iron Man and the Mark 85 armor. Both sides have product shots. The top has Iron Man Mark 85 Final Battle Edition written out in gold font. The bottom again has Iron Man Mark 85 Final Battle Edition in that gold font, along with your obligatory warning. Back of the package has more product shots of what this figure can do, along with some Japanese that I cannot read. The main thing I want to point out is that head sculpt. God damn, that thing is gorgeous. Let's crack open this package and get into the accessories. First thing is always the instructions. Alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the accessories, because this version of Iron Man has quite a few. Iron Man comes packaged in 2 trays, so why not focus on the top one first since it's just there. Let's begin with the 5 sets of interchangeable hands. All of the hands are painted in a dull and rustic red with some gold accents, and the palm has some silver paint as well. The first set are a pair of hands, or what I can only describe as the precursor to grabbing something and not in a relaxed state. Next set of hands, if placed on the figure, you bring the arm up and point the palm outward. Well, that would be a precursor to a repulsor blast to the face. If you want to finish up that repulsor blast to the face pose, then you can plug in the next set of hands. It is the same mold as the previous set, however, these extremities have a peg molded in the palm so you can plug on the blast effect. More on those later. Following that group of mitts, the set of hands that can only be described as karate chop hands. I know it sounds dumb, but how else would you describe them? And the last set are your standard closed fist, and those are the ones Iron Man comes packaged with. Now that the hands are out of the way, we can put a little focus on the next accessory, and that is the nano shield. Done in clear plastic, it has a bluish hue to it. Now you may be wondering how Iron Man can hold this safeguard. Well, if you take a look at the back of the sci-fi barricade, you notice that attached to it is one of Iron Man's hands, which to me looks awesome when you plug it in. With this added adornment, you can recreate that scene in Avengers Endgame where Iron Man shields Hawkeye right before Hulk puts on the nano gauntlet. Also included in this tray is the helmeted Iron Man head. Hang on, wait, that didn't sound right. Hold on, let me try that again. Hold on. Also included is an alternate head, which is the helmet of Iron Man. That sounds a little better. Done in that signature hot rod red, the faceplate is painted gold, but don't let your eyes deceive you. The faceplate, along with the rest of the figure, has some paint splotches on it, which gives it that I have been through a fucking war presence. I mean, did you see Endgame? In addition to the red and gold is some silver paint to give it something extra, and if you really think about it, Robert Downey Jr. has been playing Tony Stark for a decade, and if you look at where the silver is on the helmet, it kind of looks like gray hair to indicate aging. Yeah, I never really thought about that till now. We might as well talk about the octopus or nano lightning refocuser on his back, since this is how he comes packaged. It has the same paint scheme as the rest of the figure, so I will not dwell on that. The, let's call them tentacles, do have some articulation. It feels like a ball joint, but I don't want to pop one of them off to reassure myself. So if you have a fingernail, you should be able to get underneath a section of the tentacle and pop off a panel to attach one of the included blast effects. I do not have said nail. Personally, I'm feeling a little behind on my reviews, and I tend to bite my nails. That's on me though. Moving on. Needless to say, there are alternate methods you can use to remove those little sections. You can use a spudger, or you can use the little tool that came with Final Battle Edition Iron Spider. I knew this would come in handy. Warning! Be careful when removing the little segments. When I tried this for the first time, I almost lost one. I took that little tool thing and I popped it. That thing went flying, and luckily I was doing it on my review table, so it landed on there just fine, but those things are little teeny tiny. Once the part is removed, you just have to plug in one of the 6 blast effects and voila! Let's blast somebody. Okay, next tray. Hey, speaking of blast effects, you get 12 blast effects. 6 are meant for the nano lightning refocuser, and the other 6 are meant for Iron Man's hands and feet. If you are familiar with SH Figuarts, then you know that these are made out of a yellow plastic that transitions into orange with some added white to give it a little oomph. And since you are familiar, I don't have to tell you that you can plug each effect into its designated area via peg and or hole system. And if you're not familiar, well, guess what? Now you are, because I just told you. Oh look, another additional hand. This one, again, same paint scheme as the rest of the figure, but this hand has an energy blade attached to it. The blade itself is painted in that glossy red with some added silver to give it that techno feel. Not techno music, techno is in robotics. Finishing off the blade is that same clear bluish plastic like the nano shield, although you can make out the blue hue in the blade. Oh, and it plugs onto Iron Man's hand via the peg and hole technique. Lastly included is this itty bitty tiny little piece. Do not lose this. Done in red plastic but painted in gold with some battle damage painted on, this piece goes in Iron Man's back if you don't want the nano lightning refocuser attached. So now that the accessories are out of the way, we can get into this figure, and what better way to start out than to get in on that head sculpt. I want to say that the base for the sculpt they use is from that scene right before Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor start to fight Thanos. I could be wrong though. God damn, Figuarts stepped up their game yet again with this head. It is almost a spot-on resemblance of Robert Downey Jr. himself. The whole head design is molded finely. Look at that hair. Yeah, I want to judge somebody on hair. Such precision in the detail, and you add the fact that his hair is painted brown like an Endgame and not black when it was in some of the earlier movies, adds to the aesthetic. Let's pop on the Iron Man helmet and soak in the figure entirely. Overall, the detail is impressive for this version of the Mark 85 armor. Yes, the final battle edition is just a repaint of the previous release with some added extra bits. But you have to gush over the paint detail that went into this. Where he originally had gold, Figuarts went in and faded down to give the armor a dull and rundown look and feel, to the point where it doesn't even resemble gold anymore. All throughout, from his chest and arms to his thighs and even his back, all of that lustrous and polished gold has been dulled down to give it that worn and battle-weary impression. The red still has some shine to it, however, Figuarts even tatted that up because to me, it doesn't have that sheen or luster as previous versions of Iron Man did. That quintessential hot rod red has been stepped down and replaced with a much darker red, again giving this figure that battle-worn feeling. I really don't have much to say about the articulation, so just sit back and watch me zip through the articulation with some accompanying music. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of different Iron Man armors to give a good comparison. The one thing I can speak on is comparing this armor to other SH Figuarts MCU figures, and he looks good next to them. I will say that the final battle edition does not fit in with the clean and unblemished troop. Alright, final thoughts. You know, I kind of wish that he didn't come packaged with the nano focus lightning refocuser thing. You know what, I'm just gonna call it the nano octopus. It's just a minor nitpick, just personal taste. You know, I don't like it when figures come packaged with their accessories already on them. It takes away from the amazement of putting it on for the first time. The blade and the shield I have mixed feelings on. I like the fact that they have the hands molded on them, so when you have the figure with them, they're not flopping around. Don't like the fact that that's both on the right hand. Yeah, in the scene where Iron Man shields Hawkeye, it's his right hand. I get it. And I'm not 100% sure about this, but I do think that he only uses the blade in his right hand. But think of the playability here. It would have been nice to have a blade with both the right and left hands molded onto them. Yes, that probably would have jumped up the price a little bit, but the shield I can move past that. It makes sense the way it did. Generally speaking, if you want to get the final battle edition and you like that worn and damaged look, then this figure is for you, as well as the other versions that they have coming out. I think there's Iron Man here, there's Captain America. There's a Thor one, there's a Thanos one, of course, Spider-Man also. Maybe a Scarlet Witch? Not 100% sure on that one. If you want a cleaner version, then see if you can find the non-final battle edition. It all depends on your preference. If you're a diorama kind of guy and you want that final battle, then this is the figure for you. All in all though, I do like this version. Yes, you get a repaint, however, you get the nano shield, the nano octopus, the nano blade, so you get additional accessories you can attach to the other Mark 85 armor. Would I have liked an accessory pack? Yeah, who doesn't? But that's not what SH Figuarts is known for. That's not how they roll. After having this figure, I kind of want to go back and get the Mark 85 armor, the non-final battle edition, to see if the paint matches up with the hands. That's gonna be pricey. So that'll do it for this review. This is S.L.B. and this has been my review of SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame Mark 85 Armor Final Battle Edition. Shorten the name. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you want to help me get the other Mark 85 armor, there's a PayPal link. I want to thank my sponsor, The Chosen Prime. Shop thousands of figures, earn points on every purchase. Anything over $150 equals free shipping. Link to their website and their social media will be in the description down below. I also want to give a special thank you to Levy Curry for hooking me up with this figure. I appreciate it, buddy. So this is S.L.B. and this has been my review of SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame Mark 85 Final Battle Edition. Wow, mouthful. And this is S.L.B. saying, hey Levy, got your deep dish pizza waiting for you. Whenever you want, come get it, buddy. Start driving.